Hi United fans, stay tuned because this could change everything for this season. We've got breaking stories around Onana's shock exit, Lisandro Martinez's brilliance, Casemiro's timely return, Cunha's race for fitness, and of course, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's blockbuster stadium plans. Let's dive in. First up, let's talk about Andre Onana, and wow, what a twist this is. Reports suggest Sir Jim Ratcliffe himself backed the decision to move the Cameroonian goalkeeper on, which has caught Onana completely by surprise. Yes, you heard that right. The very man who just as the long-term number one now finds himself packing his bags for Turkey. His medical is already booked for Trabzonspor, and he's set to travel on Thursday to complete his loan move. But here's where it gets interesting. Ruben Amorim was reportedly left unhappy with Onana when he tore his hamstring on just the second day of pre-season. And what makes it worse? A video surfaced from Cameroon showing him playing outfield on a muddy, makeshift pitch with friends, and you have to ask, was that really the preparation United needed from their main goalkeeper heading into a massive new era? Should fans feel let down here, or do you think Onana's harshly judged for just enjoying some downtime back home? Personally, I think this move tells you everything about Amorim and Ratcliffe's vision. Amorim simply doesn't want players who cut corners or risk fitness. He wants absolute professionalism. And Ratcliffe, well, he clearly sees this as an opportunity to reset the squad. Make no mistake, this is bold. Because yes, United save around £3.7 million in salary payments with Onana's exit. But the bigger question is this. Who steps up as first-choice goalkeeper now? Will Bayendir finally get his big chance? Or will Senna Lemons, who's highly rated, be the man trusted between the sticks? Imagine the atmosphere if a young keeper gets that opportunity in front of the Stretford end. It could be one of those spine-tingling Old Trafford stories fans never forget. Now, let's shift to a real positive Lisandro Martinez. Reds, how good has this man been under Ruben Amorim when fit? His line-breaking passes are pure magic, the kind of football you pay to watch. Honestly, in Amorim's system, Martinez looks even better because he's encouraged to progress the ball higher up, threading those clever passes into midfield and even directly into attack. Let that sink in. This isn't just defending, this is artistry at the back. United have missed him so badly during his injuries, but when he returns, just picture him striding forward at the Etihad, silencing the City press with one audacious pass. Do you agree with me when I say Martinez is the closest thing we've had to a modern Rio Ferdinand in terms of composure and vision? And speaking of the Etihad, the Manchester derby is nearly here, and Casemiro's return to training at Carrington couldn't be more perfectly timed. After missing Brazil's World Cup qualifier against Bolivia through suspension, Casemiro has been spotted back working with the group. Now here's the real question. Will he be sharp enough to anchor that midfield in what promises to be a ferocious derby? Amorim knows full well that games like this are won in midfield battles. Casemiro, with his experience, his knack for reading danger, and his ability to slow City's rhythm, could be priceless. But let's be honest, he's had an up and down season. So what version of Casemiro will we get on Sunday? The destroyer who crushed Liverpool last year, or the sluggish figure who's sometimes looked a step off the pace? And then there's Matheus Cunha. Oh, how United fans will be desperate for him to make it. His ball-carrying ability is exactly what we need to slice through City, just like he did against Arsenal. Remember how he drove through the lines, creating chaos with his directness? That's precisely the weapon Amorim could unleash to hurt Guardiola's side. Honestly, without Cunha, United might struggle to find that penetration. With him, we've got a fighter who can spark those electrifying counterattacks. Fans, what do you reckon is Cunha the secret key to unlocking City? Or should United play it safe and not risk him if he's not fully fit? Now, let's step away from the pitch for a second and look at something that could define United's entire future, the stadium rebuild plans. According to reports, although United maintain that these futuristic designs are still just conceptual, Sir Jim Ratcliffe has already set his heart on one particular design, the bold tent look. And here's the kicker. It would be a massive surprise if his old friend, Sir Norman Foster, wasn't handed the £2 billion contract to make this dream reality. That's right, £2 billion for a new Old Trafford. Imagine it. A stadium rising like a colossus, modern, intimidating, the pride of Manchester. Do you think it's the right call to go futuristic? Meanwhile, according to Fabrizio Romano, all documents have now been countersigned and sealed. Andre Onana has officially joined Trabzonspor on loan from Manchester United. Yes, you heard that right, it's all done, all confirmed, and the Cameroonian goalkeeper is on his way to Turkey. Onana was Erik ten Hag's big answer, the £47 million man brought in to revolutionise United's goalkeeping, replacing the legend David De Gea. Amorim has said, "Thanks, but no thanks. You don't fit my plans." That takes some courage. Make no mistake, this is huge. Now, before diving into the wider implications, let's talk midfield. Reports suggest United are still absolutely determined to bring in a new midfielder when the January transfer window opens. The plan is clear: one more quality addition in the centre of the park to give Amorim the balance he craves. The names? Well, we all remember how the club looked into Carlos Baleba this summer, but Brighton aren't easy sellers. A deal in January will be very complicated, maybe even impossible, unless Brighton themselves want to do business. That's why the club is also keeping its eyes open for what we like to call an opportunity signing, just like Conor Gallagher nearly was at the very end of the summer window. So here's the question to you, Reds. Who would you rather see in midfield come January? A young prospect like Baleba, who could grow into a monster, or a proven Premier League grafter like Gallagher, who's ready-made for the fight? But let's zoom back out and really analyse what Amorim is doing. Because no matter what people think of him right now, you've got to respect the sheer ruthlessness of his approach. Think about it in one summer. Manchester United have moved on from Onana, Garnacho, Højlund, and Antony. These weren't just squad fillers. These were Erik ten Hag's supposed crown jewels, his big project signings, players bought with huge price tags and even bigger hype. Antony, £86 million, gone. Højlund, the supposed future striker, loaned out. Onana, the keeper who was meant to transform United's build-up play, shipped off. Garnacho, a darling of the fanbase, but sold when Amorim felt the fit wasn't right. Does this hurt? Of course it does. But ask yourself honestly, was there ever any real return on those investments? This is what strikes me most. Amorim doesn't care about price tags, about egos, about reputations. He cares about the fit, the system, the mentality. If you don't suit what he wants, you're out. Simple as that. And isn't that exactly the kind of cold, ruthless decision-making this club has lacked for years? We've been crying out for accountability while watching flop after flop sit comfortably collecting wages. Now it's different. Amorim is holding everyone to the same standard, whether you cost £5 million or £85 million. That's refreshing. That's what a proper reset looks like. Think about the scale of it. Since Amorim came in, United have cleared out more than 20 players. That's not just trimming the fat, that's radical surgery. Out go the ones who don't fit. And yes, only 4 new signings arrived this summer, but it's about quality over quantity. He's not making the same mistakes of piling up mediocre players for the sake of it. He's cutting out the errors before adding more bodies. That's discipline, that's patience, and that's exactly what this rebuild needs. Would you prefer another 10 panic buys who don't actually raise the level? Or 4 smart, precise additions who actually move the needle? Let's also be brutally honest here. It stings to see Antony sold for a loss, Højlund sent on loan, Onana heading out, Garnacho sold, but add it up. That's more than £100 million worth of failed business wiped off the wage bill. Painful? Yes. Necessary? Absolutely. Sometimes progress means ripping out the weeds before planting the flowers. And in football terms, that's exactly what Amorim is doing. And let's not kid ourselves, this stage of the rebuild is not glamorous. It's messy, it's frustrating, it's ugly at times. But this is the dirty work, the house cleaning, the foundation building that others ignored for years. We wanted change, we begged for it. Now we're getting it, even if it doesn't look pretty right now. The real question is, do we have the patience to stick with it and back Amorim through the storm? Or will we once again let panic and short-termism derail the long-term vision? Drop your thoughts in comments section. In other hand, we have got a huge breaking news from Old Trafford and beyond, and this one has plenty of twists, shocks, and big talking points for United fans to digest. According to breaking reports, Saudi giants Al Nassr have now made their first official contact with Manchester United regarding Brazilian midfielder Casemiro. Yes, you heard that right. The Saudi Pro League transfer window is still wide open until the 23rd of September. And Al Nassr want to make this deal happen before the deadline slams shut. After an underwhelming 2024 to 2025 season so far, and with United reshaping their midfield under Ruben Amorim, the prospect of Casemiro leaving Old Trafford is now more real than ever. The big question, should United cash in now, or should they hold on to a player of Casemiro's pedigree and leadership? Let's not forget, Casemiro arrived with the reputation of a serial winner, a man who dominated European nights with Real Madrid and brought much-needed steel to United's midfield. But over the last year, his form has dipped, his pace has slowed, and injuries have crept in. With Saudi Arabia's riches on the table and United keen to refresh the squad, this could be the perfect opportunity for the club to trim the wage bill and open space for younger, hungrier talent. But fans, would you be happy to see Casemiro leave? Or do you still think he has one last big season in him at Old Trafford? Meanwhile, there's already financial movement happening at United. According to Laurie Whitwell, Manchester United will save around £3.7 million in salary payments thanks to Andre Onana's loan move to Trabzonspor. What's more, Trabzonspor are covering his entire wages, and due to bonuses, Onana will actually be earning almost double what he was at Old Trafford. From a financial standpoint, this is clever business by United. Instead of being stuck with a frustrated goalkeeper on the bench, the club saves millions, keeps the books healthy, and allows new signing Senna Lamens to step up as Amorim's trusted number one. But here's the burning debate. Should Amorim place his faith fully in Lamens straight away? Or could Altay Bayindir, who's been patient and waiting for his chance, finally step up and stake his claim? Against Manchester City at the Etihad on Sunday, who would you start between the sticks, Lamens or Bayindir? Shifting gears to Marcus Rashford rumours were flying around social media about Barcelona supposedly wanting to terminate his loan deal early. But Fabrizio Romano has now set the record straight. He says, "It's a shame to see rumours about Barca wanting to terminate Rashford's loan. There's nothing to it. Barcelona are happy with his attitude and the deal, and they're waiting for him to adapt.